All right, thanks everyone for joining us here this afternoon, July 7th. I hope everyone had a good holiday weekend, at least those of you in the United States who I think most folks are here right now. Um, and we just had the June PGB call only 2 weeks ago, which we had delayed because of RSA. So since it's only been 2 weeks since our last call and we're in the middle of a holiday weekend, a holiday week here. Um, I didn't have a very robust agenda for this call. Again, there hasn't been really much that's happened over the past 2 weeks. The main thing I wanted to all of us to, just briefly discuss, I thought would be productive would be Black Hat and make sure everyone understands what's going on at Black Hat from an OCA perspective, because there's a couple of different things that are happening, which is fantastic. And I think it's important that everyone's organization is aware that that's going on. And I know the marketing committee is this working on this topic as well. So if you don't have folks from your organizations, by the way, on the marketing committee, I'd highly recommend trying to make that connection between your marketing folks and having them join that group. I've noticed that attendance on that has been a little bit lighter of late, so it is where all of the different topics are discussed to prep for these types of events, and what's blog posts and other activities are going to OCA. So I think it's important for PGB members to be aware of the activities that are going on over in that subcommittee. So if that's something you need more information on, you can feel free to reach out after the call and we can get you hooked up. So in terms of Black Hat, there's just a couple of items I wanted to make sure that people are aware that were going on. So first of all is that we've very luckily we're at so we were originally not accepted with the submission, but at a later stage, somebody who was accepted couldn't make it anymore. Either that or they a little bit fuzzy to me if somebody couldn't make it or if they made more space in the Black Hat Arsenal. But the Kestrel project, Kestrel and Stick Shifter were part of a submission that we made for Black Hat Arsenal, and we got accepted. So we're going to have a contingent of folks there at a PED in Las Vegas, showcasing a number of different OCA technologies. They're going to be showing Kestrel, they're going to be showing Stick Shifter. There's going to be subject matter experts from both projects there. Um, and they're going to be talking about what's going on in the OCA. So that's pretty exciting from my perspective anyway, that it's kind of the first time that we've had an OCA specific presence on a floor of a major event like this. We previously had uh, we were previously accepted at Black Hat Arsenal when in Black Hat EU in 2021, but that was all virtual because of COVID. So it was a completely different situation because it was like you did a recording and posted it on the internet, and that's kind of all it was. This is actually going to be a real in-person presence, so very excited about that. Hopefully, it'll raise the visibility quite a bit of what we're doing here. Um, so I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that that was going on. Um, second piece that's going on is that Oasis itself is going to be at Black Hat as well. And I see Jane's here. I don't know, Jane, if you wanted to just spend a second or two talking about Oasis, just so that the PGB members are aware here.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. So what's going to be wonderful, I think, for OCA specifically is that you'll have a presence in the Arsenal area, which is a part of their show floor. And then Oasis, we're not on the show floor, but we're in that main alleyway where everyone kind of has to walk back and forth past. So we'll kind of hit folks from two different ends, which I think will be great. At the Oasis booth, of course, OCA will have a presence there. You know, we do have minimal signage. We're not, you know, it's a slightly smaller space. So, you know, it's not like a 20 by 20 or anything like of that nature, but we are putting together some signage that will feature the different open projects that relate to the audience, as well as our standards. So we're going to kind of hit it from several different angles. We will have the new OCA gear stickers. We're going to use the gear logo that was just recently made for the website, and transfer that into laptop stickers. We will have also an opportunity to for OCA to provide what they would like on the other side of a QR code. So when folks come to talk, Dee and I both will be on the ground at Black Hat, managing the Oasis presence there. And when folks, come up and talk to us, obviously we'll give them the pitch about OCA and all the great stuff that's happening. But we also want to be able to directly link them to something where they can learn more about OCA if they're not familiar with it. So we're going to have QR codes so that someone can just kind of quickly here, link there, save it, whatever it may be. So from the group, we just want to find out where you want to send them. Do we want to send them to the website? Do we want to send them to, one of the recent quick overview videos, an announcement, or do we want to send them to Kestrel because Kestrel actually is going to be there? So I think just, if we could figure that piece out over the next few weeks, that would be great. And we'll try to do our best to, obviously highlight, everything else. But we will have branding there for OCA. All sponsor company names will be on one of the banners. So you will get recognition there, from a sponsor level perspective. I think that's pretty much it. I do have a free pass for the briefings, not the training, but the briefing sessions. And I was talking with Jason on Slack about opportunities for the OCA community, and maybe there's someone in the community that may be in need of a pass that so we're kind of mulling over how we would distribute that free pass. So something to also consider.
So is that on that one, Jane? So is that something that you want the OCA to run with, or I wasn't sure what you were doing with that since it's like an Oasis pass, or because
Well, it's an Oasis pass, so whoever takes the pass it'll be under the Oasis open name, which is fine. Dee and I are going, we're already under booth staff. I know a lot of you guys are exhibiting there. So if there's someone maybe who's working in the Kestrel space that may be in need of a briefing pass, we can transfer that over to them. Again, they would be representing Oasis and OCA, perspective, but it is a pass that we would like to offer to the OCA community. I know it's just one, so it's kind of hard to, say, hey, throw it out there and see who wants to have it. But any way you feel is appropriate for me to toss that opportunity out, I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, I mean, so just from my perspective, right, like if one of the folks that our company was sending to Black Hat, we wanted to send the briefings, I would expect us to pay for that, right? So I'm kind of more thinking, is it, I wonder if we can come up with some kind of way that we can put out a call to the community, like for people, like, I don't know if it would be like a raffle or some kind of a thing where people could like apply for it or something, like, um, I'd hate for it to go to waste, but I also don't think that like just, random company should take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, 'cause there's probably people in in one of our communities that could really use it. That's on the West Coast and the travel burden's not high, and
Jason, I
but
agree. One idea that you might consider would be if we have any relationships with young and up and coming cyber type folks, or security type folks, so that you could give it to a student or somebody like that, or a young professional that's just getting in and may not be able to go because they can't afford it, kind of thing. Just a thought.
yeah, exactly what I'm thinking, Rich. Like I don't know if there's I just I that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm just trying to figure out logistically how we would do it over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, being new to the group here, I can't really help too much. I do have some other groups that I work with, and we, of course, are doing things with local colleges and that kind of stuff. So I don't know if the Oasis group does anything like that, or maybe even OCA or whomever. But if there's any programs like that that are going on, you might turn to some of those first, or maybe just put out an advertisement on the web and see who submits that meets certain criteria, but of course you'd have to come up with that criteria.
Well, how about
Yeah.
Jason? How about you and I speak about what that might look like, and then I can send out a note to the community.
Yeah,
Do some
yeah.
thinking about it.
Do we want to see if any of our members need it first, and then after that, any of the OCA members need it first? We could probably do it with, I'm sure if we just do it within our community, we get a taker. But if not, I love the idea of kind of a lottery thing. I mean, that's a really good thing. And it gives me a reason to go out to all of my OCA leads and say, we're going to be there. We'd love to see you. We're holding around, why not? Too cheesy?
Yeah. I mean that if you did it as like some kind of like, lottery-esque
Yeah,
thing, then it's a great promotion of the organization, right?
yeah, I think so. Why not? I'm constantly looking for reasons.
And you could just have criteria, right? Like it's the applicant, you know, I don't know. We'd have to come up with what the criteria is, right? To enter.
I have my own ideas on the criteria.
Okay, so Dee, I'll loop you in with Jason and myself, and we'll try to
Okay.
come up with a plan on that front. I did also want to let you guys know that Oasis, because we're partnering with Black Hat, we have a 25% discount off of the briefing session pass. So if any of you as members of Oasis would like to use that code, I believe I sent it through just recently through the Slack channel. So just use that link. I know several of you are just exhibiting or whatever it may be, but you can use that code and get the 25% off. So make sure you take advantage of that. And then also I wanted to, just because it's never too soon, Black Hat Europe, if there's an interest in submitting something for Black Hat Europe, the deadline for submission is the 25th of July. So I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that deadline coming up.
Good info. Thanks, Jane.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep. Thanks,
I'd
Jane.
like to contribute something. I'll put that on my list. I'll come up with a speaking idea.
That would be great. I'll work with you, Mark, on getting something submitted. That would be great.
Okay. And I am planning on going. We're actually, Tim's here. We couldn't afford or chose not to Black Hat USA, but EU is much more reasonable. So we're going to be there. I will be at Black Hat. US. And so if we're not sponsoring, so I don't have booth duty or anything. If there's anything else I can do to help, just let me know.
Yeah, we'll definitely stop by the booth. You know, we could always use, someone who's, in the projects to, to talk to folks. So by all means. And also, Jason, I'm not sure who is leading the Kestrel portion. If there's any OCA branding that's needed for that, table sign. I'm not sure what the space looks like. This will be my first Black Hat to attend. So,
Yeah, it's a good question. And so Zhao Kui's here. I don't know, Zhao Kui, if you know anything about that. Have they asked you um anything about what is going on at the Arsenal booth? Like, are they expecting, like, I don't even know if we have have we heard any of the details yet of what type of ped it is?
So we are under heavy preparation for the Arsenal booth, and basically, Paul from our team will go and with selection and others will try to present. But before that, we are preparing the technical part about the demo, and there are several.
Yeah, but did Black Hat tell us anything about the ped itself, Zhao Kui? Like the like should we have a sign? Like do you know anything about the ped? Or did they tell us anything about it? I didn't see anything about that.
Oh, okay, okay. So basically, this year we have the physical booth there, but we still will have recorded demo that I assume people can view online. But other than that, we don't know much about the information. We know the Arsenal kind of room for all the demos there, and we will be owning a booth. That's what we know. That's all. Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to follow up on that, Jane, because we don't know yet.
Yeah, just so, typically, and I think this also is it for the Arsenal portion, they, they do have a portal that, whether you're an exhibitor or whether you're someone like Oasis who's partnering, you go in there and there are specifics about what's involved and what you get. Like we get a 6-foot table, we get some pipe and drape, but that's it kind of thing, 2 chairs. And I think, just looking at, I'm not sure. I mean, I could go and look at some photos of what Arsenal area looks like, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing some signage. So it might be good to figure out whether or not you need like a roll up or a table sign that has OCA logo on it and Kestrel. And so anyway, someone, whoever was the lead, more than likely received that information to the portal.
I see. I see. That's a very good point. I think we need those kind of signs, OCA and casual signs, if we can have them. I'm pretty sure we will have a table, and I'm not sure if we have a monitor or other things. I assume we will have a monitor, and most of the demo this year will be executed in a binary environment, so we don't need any machine. So that's not an issue for us. So we will get more details about what Black Hat will provide us for the booth when it gets closer. And the current period that we are focusing on just to finish the technical part of it. So yeah.
Okay, great. And then just coordinate with me if you need, OCA branding in some way, shape, or form. I can help with
Thank
that
you. Thank you.
effort.
That will be very helpful. I will reach out to you. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And we'll
And
give
I
you
think
some
what would
stickers
be,
and things like that.
yeah, I think what would be really good, Jane, would be like once you know, it would be good to have some kind of cards or something that said go here's the Oasis booth or something, like a thing that, like, if we have a lot of people at Arsenal, that we could send them over to the main Oasis or OCA booth.
Yeah, yeah, we can maybe do some tiny cards that have our location, where to find us.
Yeah, and that I
and
think
vice
could be a
versa.
good, yeah, that could be handy, right?
Yeah, we would do that, but and send folks to the Kestrel space as well. So I think it would be beneficial to do both.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good. Yeah. So maybe I will reach out to you in 2 weeks. Once we have the technical part, get most of it done, and I think we will hear more from Black Hat as well after a week because they said we should have the technical part done by July 15th, and I think afterwards we will have more discussion about how this is going to roll out in the physical booth and things that we will have more ideas there then.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, this was the major topic that I wanted to discuss this week. I didn't have any other kind of PGB level conversations. There's obviously a lot of activities going on in all the individual projects, but things have kind of reached a point in the OCA that like it's not really scalable to like bring all the individual project stuff up at the PGB, which I think is a good thing. I think one working group I want to call attention to, though, I think we're going to need some focus on is the indicators of behavior working group. I haven't reached out yet um, to find out if Ladrina still plans on participating in that group or not, now that she's no longer at Cyber Reason. But that might be something that we're going to have to locate another co-chair for to volunteer to help Charlie. If we
My,
want the group to continue.
yeah, my impression from Ladrina was no, that she was not going to. But Charlie seems, perfectly, I mean, did he say to you that, it would be
No, he
great if we got a
didn't.
coach,
No, he didn't. It's just always good to have a second,
a backup?
right? Um,
Yeah.
but I just don't want him to feel like it's all on his shoulders now. But
Well, he's doing a great job and we always have really good attendance and, so it's certainly a group for
yeah, I
everyone to be
agree.
aware of.
I mean, what do we need there, Jason? I mean, just crossed my mind that, I know a bunch of people from, my life and technology alliances from various sorts of vendors. Do we need to recruit somebody that will, I think somebody that will benefit from having and being able to use an indicator of behavior in their own solution? Like that's the
Well,
best.
yeah, I think what we need to do, and I haven't spoken to Charlie on this either, so I think we have to take that action. But I think we need to kind of figure out, like, how do we, um, what's the roadmap? How do we progress that group? Do we want because I think there's a lot of really good outputs that are happening there now around this thing that's coming up this week's going to be about visualizing the IOBs using Neo4j, right? So all this work that's been going on, um, to me, it's kind of just about increasing visibility and awareness of it, right? Um, Outside of the OCA. And maybe we need to pick up the promotion of it again. I know when we initially started the IOB working group, we really heavily promoted it, and we had a huge amount of people interest come into it. But then we've kind of taken the foot off the gas, and maybe we just need to start promoting it again. Because I think it is a very pertinent and interesting topic. So anyway, I don't have any firm thoughts there, but
Okay. Well, I'd like to be on that call if you organize something.
well, maybe, I mean, the call is on the 12th, and maybe it's best to just bring it up at the work group itself. Maybe.
Yeah. Make it a strategy call.
Right. I can prioritize attending this week.
Yeah. Cool. I think we also need to give some attention to ontology. Is Forrest still working on that, or is he kind of left that rich? I don't know if anybody else from SAIC is still working on the ontology project. I'm not up to date on it.
So Ian Featherstone, I think, is still working that. Forrest is still somewhat involved, but obviously he's running his own company and doing other things. So I don't know
Yeah.
how much he's still involved with it, though.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'll reach out to Ian and catch up with him. I think that moving the ontology forward, I think that's the thing that can really help make OCA, implementable, if you will. Tie all these things together.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I got you. You have his contact info, Mark?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right.
All right. Does anyone have any other topics they want to raise with the PGB this week? I don't have anything else myself. I'm just kind of head down on all of these other activities. I would say it's great, it is great that we're starting to get, individuals kind of coming in, just wanting to contribute to our projects. We've seen a couple of instances of that lately, and I think it's fantastic. It's just showing, some of the increasing momentum we've got here. No one has anything else?
Nothing else for me. I think actually what we had talked about doing some other meeting or a get together, more maybe less formal at this point. Do we still want to try and do something like that in a Black Hat as kind of a very select targeted recruiting effort? Or
You know what? You know what, Mark? I think let's talk about that. So you're gonna be there, right? So you're gonna be there and I'm gonna be there. Um, let's you and I think about that and we can try to organize, I think, something. Um,
yeah, I think even like a dinner or something.
even just a meetup after hours event.
Yeah,
I think we can figure something out.
cool.
We could
That's for
maybe,
me.
I'd love to work with you guys and we could maybe put together a target list. How does that sound?
That'd be great. Let's set up a separate ad hoc meeting. I'll do it.
Okay. Good enough. I did put a link in the chat, the kind of exposure that we're doing. I actually feel bad because we do this regularly. This is for the IOB meeting. We do this regular for developers office hours too. I mean, I feel bad that I don't do it for the architectural work group, which I should, and the ontology. I mean, I don't know how much I get a fair amount of traffic on all of these things that I do for OCA, but you guys can easily, like it or repost it, what have you, and we tweet about it too. So
Thanks, Dee. Yeah, it's hard to keep track sometimes. There's so many things going on.
yeah.
I do have a question actually, that I just thought of that I meant to ask since we're here. So the Gears logo, is that like the new logo? Or
No, it's not. The logo is exactly the same. You're probably touching on a really good point. I don't know how much we should use it. I personally really like it, but that doesn't mean a hill of beans. Um, but I've heard other people say that they really like it. So I mean, the one thing I said to Jane is, well, can we get some of the, you know, like the t-shirts and the hats and stuff with that logo? I mean, if you guys think that that's a branding nightmare, potentially that could be true. I just think it's really cool, but that's just me.
I have no strong opinion on it one way or another. I was just curious if the marketing group had.
No, we mix it
I
up.
just didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you go to the Twitter page or the LinkedIn page, it's all the same. It's all consistent. But I think Mary Beth gets bored. We do a lot of tweeting and a lot of posting for OCA. So sometimes she creates different, it's fun, you know.
Yep. No, I think it looks great. Don't get me wrong. I just wasn't sure if I should rip my laptop one off here.
Jane, we are getting the regular OCA. Oh, we do. We've got a ton of the laptop stickers with the regular OCA.
Yeah, we're getting just some of the gear ones, but we do have the regular ones as well.
Okay.
And so the signage in the booth will be using the regular OCA logo. Just for the sticker was what I was referring to, the gear one, just because it was a little more fun. You know, laptop stickers can have different tones to them.
All right. So I think main action items I tracked from this call. So we're gonna go, and so we IBM need to find out more about what the characteristics are of the Arsenal PED, and we'll get back to you if there's anything that would be helpful around like signs or things of that nature for OCA once we understand more about what that is. And then Mark's gonna set up this another call to talk about you know, is there should we do some kind of ad hoc or birds of a feather dinner or gathering at Black Hat, some kind of more, you know, informal thing, try to organize. He's gonna take that one. We're going to bring up at the IOB meeting this week, you know, strategy, or, you know, discuss the strategy about how we can drive the working group more forward, and also promote the working group, try to retweet and repost some of the LinkedIn activities and whatnot. Those are the main things that I tracked on this call. All right, if no one has anything else, we can call it a day. And actually, now that I think about it, no, we should be good. Yeah, so the next OCA call is going to be on August 4th. So that is before Black Hat, so there should be no reason to reschedule or have to move that at this point. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you on the 4th.
Later on.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Yeah, take care. Bye now.